What are we listening to today?
The Immigrant Project by Girish and Astha.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Immigrant Project. Today we have super cool Eliza with us today. Eliza is from Philippines and she is a marketing consultant and she is also studying at George Brown College. Welcome Eliza to the
Thanks
show.
for having me.
So for the audience out there, of course I'll not be able to do
Mhm.
justice introducing you. Do you wanna talk about yourself in like a paragraph, like a short bio?
Yeah, sure. So again, my name is Eliza. I'm from the Philippines. I'm a marketing consultant. I have several clients in the Philippines and abroad. And at the same time, I'm here in Canada studying marketing to expand my marketing knowledge. And I'm also working as a retail manager for a brand that I've worked with for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Yes. So,
You're brand loyal.
yes, very.
So yeah, the first burning question which I think everybody asks us on this podcast is why? What
Why?
made you decide?
There you go. So, there are a lot of reasons that you probably hear from other people. Like, the grass is greener always in the other side, like where we're from. Well, I do come from a third world country myself, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't doing well. For me, it's more of an expansion of my experience. Like, I feel like I've done not all, but most of what I can in where I was in my career in the Philippines, and I just wanted a bigger world. And on the other hand, I wanted more options for my kid because I do have a teenager. He's 14. Something I didn't have growing up is a more powerful passport. And just to give him those options of when he's grown up, he can go wherever he wants to go.
Wow,
You know what I
so
mean?
to have an option of a powerful passport. So does this Philippine allow
Yeah.
dual citizenship?
Yes, they do.
Oh my god,
Yes.
you guys are so lucky.
Exactly. So that's like to be in two countries that like I've grown to love Canada.
Yeah.
To have both citizenships in two countries that I love, that's like the dream for me and my son. So it gives us a lot of options of where we want to be, where we want to go, where he wants to study, where we want to work. All of that. I just want to open up the world for me and my son.
That's such a beautiful answer. I do have a couple of very important questions to talk on this episode with you today. But again, one important question which I think a lot of my friends keep asking me, and I even speak to Canadians out there, and they said that they'll be happy with everything Canada has to offer except the winters. So what are your opinion about?
Well, my opinion is there's nothing that a good coat can mend. Dress warmly, dress appropriately. I've been in a snowstorm before. I mean, you're not out there forever. You eventually have to go in. So it's really just buy a good coat. There you go. Invest in a good one. That's all there is. It's all in the mind. Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic. Okay, so while I was having a conversation with you off camera, and of course Asta was having a conversation with you, a topic came up and it was pretty interesting, is that you applied multiple times.
Oh yeah, 3 times.
3 times to come to this
Yes, I
country.
was denied a student permit 3 times, but I kept going. And it ended with a judicial review where you take your case to Canadian Federal Court and you present your case and say I was treated unfairly, so please reconsider my application. In the end, they said we don't want to go to trial. We'll reopen your application, and eventually they granted me my permit.
Wow, okay, so let's spend some time talking about this and let's go back down the memory lane. The first time you applied, what was it that they said was a reason for rejection?
They said I wasn't a true student.
A true student?
Yeah, I mean, but you ask any professor, like looking back, that was a weird assumption about me because I'm like one of the top students in my class. I'm as real a student as you can get. So I don't know where this was coming from, and it was that. Like they kept giving me reason after reason after reason that they could have asked me in my past applications.
Yeah.
So that led my lawyer to saying, this is not going to go anywhere if we apply a 4th, a 5th, or 6th. We're going to take them to court instead.
So they were not able to give you any concrete reasons for
They
your
did.
application?
And I answered each one
of them.
of them in every application, I think sufficiently with supporting documents and everything, with even testing, because I had begun studying online from the Philippines.
You've already started your course.
Yeah, even testimonials from her professor say she's an A+ student, she's one of my top students, she's doing great, and all that. She'll bring a whole lot of experience and knowledge to Canada. they still kept saying, maybe you're not a real student. So it's like, and then that's when my immigration lawyer said, okay, we'll go another route. Let's take it to court.
Oh my
So
God.
that's what happened. So it was a
So how long was the process
It
of you
was
applying for the first time and then you
2
finally get it?
years. Took me 2 years to get
To just
here.
get your student visa, which normally
Yes.
takes what?
6
2
months,
6 months.
right?
Wow.
2 years, but I kept going because I knew it was for me.
So how was this judicial process for you? Like, walk us through the process.
Yeah, so it was more of presenting your entire case again, and the
Alright.
lawyer making like giving discussions about why on each of these points that they said I wasn't eligible, giving supporting documents and the stress and the grief that it has caused me and all of that, and if you can have, and basically asking them if you can counter our arguments,
Yeah.
then let's go to trial about this
Wow.
case. But then the answer said, no, we don't want the trial. Well,
We'll give you a
obviously,
student
I had the
visa.
case. Like,
Wow.
I was able to answer everything sufficiently. So it was just really trusting the process, like, and trusting my lawyers. It was really important that I chose someone that I felt very comfortable with and someone who I felt believed in me
Yeah.
and who would fight for my cause, and not someone who would be like, half dedicated to me, like really got to know me and why I was coming to Canada and willing to fight for me.
So it feels like you've placed your life's trust in this lawyer. Was this lawyer based in Canada?
Yeah, in Canada. She's in Toronto.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you found this lawyer
have to
online.
have a Canadian lawyer.
You found a lawyer online.
No, I had a consultant who did the research for me. We vetted several lawyers. I met with several, and it's like, doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And finally,
Oh, wow.
we found a lawyer who was like, over the Zoom meeting, I really just felt good vibes from her, and she did a really great job. So,
Wow. And just for the understanding of the listeners and the viewers, we do end up paying lawyers their fees, right?
yes, yeah. So it was like, it cost me more than you would think it would cost to
Oh
get a
my
student
God, really?
permit. Yeah, because I had to, I mean, imagine I had to apply 3 times.
3 times.
In between those 3 times, there were lawyers in between. So I had to pay those.
Your
and then the
consultant
application
fees
fees,
as
the
well.
consultant fees, and the lawyer fees for doing the judicial review is
Wow.
different. So it was a lot of money. But then, if you believe in divine providence,
Wow, that is
and that's something I've always
Such a
held
nice outlook
as
to
a
have.
value. Money is the easiest thing that the universe can provide you.
yeah. We need people like your mindset more on the show because you end up motivating a lot of our listeners.
Like even the way that financing a move to Canada isn't easy, right? So, but like people, it's funny how people say they want to go to Canada because they want to be more financially
Secure and
successful. But then to get here, you gotta have a lot of money
Yeah,
to pay for
exactly.
your tuition, to prepare yourself for your living expenses and all of that. And so it's not cheap. It's not like you're gonna have to put out, like it's an investment in your future, and that's what I thought of it. It's an investment for mine and my son's future. So it was
Wow.
just giving those fees for like, as long as I have the money, I'll put it down.
Wow, you strike it out as an
Yeah,
investment fee in your future.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
just believing in yourself. I'll earn that back.
You'll earn that back. Yeah.
I know how. When you believe that you know how to earn a living,
Yeah.
money is
easy, right?
easy. Yeah. If you know how to earn a living, you know how to work hard, you have the skills, money is the least of your concerns. At least that's how I like to think.
Wow.
So,
I like your mindset. So yeah, we were again having a conversation off camera, and you mentioned something about not working full time during pandemic, and
Oh, yeah.
now you're talking about having that set of money aside to show it in your application, and of
Yeah.
course pay all of these fees,
Yeah.
supplementary fees that comes along with an application. So how did you go about this process?
That was it was a lot of fate, a lot of luck, and a lot of divine intervention, I think. Because when I applied during the pandemic, so I didn't have a full-time job.
2021.
Yes, 2020 to 2021, those years. And I had been a makeup artist. So when the pandemic hit, I lost gigs, jobs, and I
Yeah.
leaned towards other things like online work, digital media, and all of that. But I didn't have enough money to certainly pay a year's tuition in Canada or 6 months of living expenses. I didn't have all of that, so I needed that. So
And you have to show that in an
Yeah, you have to
application,
show it.
right?
you have to pay your full tuition before you even apply. They're
It's
very
called GRC something, right?
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You buy a JC, they prefer that
JC,
you pay the full tuition, so you needed a lot of money. In my case, by the way I computed it, it was like 1.6 million pesos. I don't know how much that is in Canadian. I forget, but I needed to get that, and I had about 100,000 in the bank.
Wow. Okay,
So
you
from
had it
100,000 to
to a
1.6, how do I
Wow.
do that? And when I received my acceptance letter from George Brown, I had just a month. So
To show that
where
much money in
where
an
do I
account.
go from 100 to 1.6 million? Because I had to pay $18,000 for the full year's tuition.
Oh my God.
So what I did was I approached my ex-husband
Hmm.
and it's like, hey, can you help me out? Because he supports me and my son. It's like,
Yeah.
I know I'm not very liquid right now, but
Yeah.
sell some of the paintings that I gave you.
Yeah.
You can do that. I'm like, okay, I can do that, sure. But it's the pandemic.
Yeah.
Who's gonna buy $10,000 paintings during a pandemic?
In fact,
Who
art
will?
really picked up in pandemic.
It
for
did,
some
but then
reason.
but it was like my situation was I had to sell all of them
Yeah.
at the same time,
Hmm.
which the galleries were like, this is gonna be a challenge because you need them all sold at the same time because you have a timeline.
Yeah.
So I was like feeling a little down. Maybe this is not gonna happen, but I threw it to the universe. I said, if this is meant for me, it's meant for me. Here it is. And then I had posted in my Facebook groups, in my college Facebook groups, that I was unloading some paintings, and a concerned friend called me and was like, is there any reason why you're unloading some assets? Usually when people are doing that, it's like somebody's sick. You need money for the
Exactly,
hospital. It's
yeah.
like, oh, no, nothing like that. I was like, I'm trying to get to Canada. I explained the situation. I said, okay, fine. Well, good luck. Then, okay, a week later, which is a week before deadline of paying tuition,
Oh my God. Okay.
he called me again. He was like, hey, how are you doing? Did you sell the paintings? I was like, no, it looks like I'm not going to go. I said, because I can't pay my tuition. I had already kind of emotionally prepared myself.
Yeah.
He goes, I have not stopped thinking about you since we had that conversation a week ago.
Yeah.
I said, there's something telling me that I have to help you. He bought all 4 on the spot.
Oh wow.
And he handed it to me in cash. And that was the moment that I said, this is for me.
You threw out whatever you wanted in the
Yeah.
universe, and the universe
And then
acknowledged it.
That was the
Take it
key
back.
moment where I knew this was for me. Like whatever happens, I get denied, I get a roadblock, I face a wall. This is for me.
Yeah.
'Cause
You don't stop.
Yep, no, that doesn't happen without any
Yeah.
intervention from the universe. That kind of situation where you go from 0 to 60 in like that. There's no human power that can do that.
Wow.
So that's what I held on with every disappointment, with every denial. I held on to that moment. I said, no, this is for me. And again,
Wow. So no matter how many times you fall,
yeah.
you pick
It's
yourself up.
It was more of I got denied. I didn't fall. I asked, okay, what's next? I always said, I will get there in the right time. In the right moment, in the right time, because I need to be there at the right time to meet the right people, to land the right job, to get the right apartment. There's always that right time.
Wow. Well, there's a lot of interesting conversation that we have to do, but we have to wait for the next episode, Eliza. But this is so fantastic. I mean, I got to know a side of IRCC and a side of you which did not exist. Wow. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Eliza.
of
This was
course.
a fantastic episode.
Yeah. Part 2.
Yeah. Bye.